Welcome to the Knowledge Gumbo Podcast, where we mix together timeless wisdom and thought-provoking stories using quotes, sayings, proverbs, and book passages filtered through the lives and experiences of Black women. I am your curious-minded host, Alicia Thomas. This is your space for gaining knowledge and having meaningful discussions about history, culture, and life lessons with splashes of humor. Let's get to today's spice. Invest in the human soul. Who knows might be a diamond in the rough by Mary McLeod Bethune. One of the things that made Mary McLeod Bethune such a critical leader, and it showed up in the spaces she was able to be present in, was that she was the only woman of color present at the founding conference for the United Nations in 1945, representing the NAACP and advocating for human rights on a global scale. And in her quote, we have to look at it from the standpoint of leadership. Whether your leadership is in your family or it's in your workplace or it's in your community, we have to nurture people. We can't browbeat, dominate others. We have to pour into them. The sign of a good leader, of a good servant leader, is that the people who serve under them go on to shine and do sometimes much greater and bigger things, but it's because you see the good in the people and you pour into them. It's not just a matter of saying, I'm going to give you this or give you that, but you draw out what makes them great, what makes them special. You point out to them their strengths, help them to discover what weaknesses need to be strengthened and what weaknesses need to just be left alone, and just double down on the things that you do well. Sometimes we dwell so much on what we don't do well and what we struggle with that we totally discontinue and discount what it is that we excel at, what is our area of genius, so to speak. And we have to look at that as a leader, as someone who has the ability to pour into other people, because everybody has some level of leadership role, in some area of your life where you're responsible for someone else. And in doing that, you have to invest in them as a person. You can't see them as just a cog in the wheel, because companies that do that go out of business. Families that do that break apart. Another quote that she's really often said and is known for is, I leave you love. I leave you hope. I leave you the challenge of developing confidence in one another. And this she used to summarize her leadership style. She wasn't just fighting for change. In her time, she was building institutions like the college she founded and inspiring future generations. Because you don't know, that one person that you invest into, that one person that you help, that you serve as a leader to, may be the linchpin for the next big break, whether it's in business, whether it's in medicine, whether it's in politics. You never know. But if you're willing to let go of ego and help nurture someone else, that same activity also nurtures your own soul. It helps you to become a better person. It helps you to learn how to let go. I think that was one of the most critical things that I learned and I loved about working with Saturn when it first began, because our leaders, our managers, they poured into us. They required us to take training. They sat down with us and scheduled out our years of, where do you want to be in this job and become a technical engineer? Do you want to go into management? Do you want to go into manufacturing? Let's sit down, develop a plan that's going to get you to where you need to be, that's going to give you the skills to make the job that you're currently doing even better, so that everybody wins. You win in your current job, but you're also taking steps and moving forward into places where you want to go. And that's a key thing with leadership, especially Mary McLeod Bethune. Her leadership was marked by strategic thinking, and she was very, very fearless. And she did not mind standing up and fighting for what she believed in, fighting for the people she believed in. And she had an amazing ability to bring people together under a common cause for a common purpose. We need to be able to, and sometimes I struggle with this because especially when I was younger and I used to tutor, you want them to get it right away. But you have to figure out the nuances of how each student learns and teach it in a way that turns on the light bulb for them. And that was a great lesson in patience for me as a tutor as well, is that everybody doesn't learn the same. Everybody comes from different backgrounds because how they were taught, say, if it was a math issue, it depended on who their algebra teacher was and how they taught. And could you relate that to helping them in calculus now? Or if they learned a different way, and you had to be open to understand first where the person is, where they want to go, and help guide them in the appropriate way that will help them get to the place and things that will bring out the best in them, because that brings out the best in their work. It brings out the best if you're a manager or a boss. It brings out for the company, and everybody wins. It does not have to be an either or. It can be both. And there's a role for compassion in leadership. As we see today with what's going on in government, there's a lack of compassion. And compassion does not equate weakness. You can take the time to nurture and grow your people. And because with you being that kind of leader, other people want to come and work for you. They see you help people become their best. And in doing that, you become your best. It's critical to be empathetic for the people that you lead. It's very effective in business because employees are 2 to 3 times more likely to stay loyal to a compassionate leader versus a dictatorial leader. And organizations as a whole who invest in leadership development, who invest in education in their people, increases over 30% of employee engagement, because a lot of people just come to get a check. I'm going to do exactly what it says I'm supposed to do, no more, no less. You don't get that synergy that creates something greater than anything you could have gotten just in individual silos. So we really need to focus on investing in people and really seeing them as people. They're not a number on a page. They're not a line item based on their salary. They're not someone based on their age, meaning they have no more usefulness, or because of their age and how much they make, they're easier to get rid of. And you're going to put someone younger in there at a lower price, but you lose that critical history and knowledge for the position. And that goes the same for family. We need to invest in our elders and learn and understand from them. And hopefully in doing so, we can also share the things that we know and we are learning. Let's look at that quote. Invest in the human soul. Who knows? It might be a diamond in the rough. All right, it's challenge time. Woo. Challenge time, right? Reflect on someone who invested in your growth. Comment below and then send them a handwritten thank you card. But make sure you comment below with that name of that person who invested in your growth, who helped you become a better person today than you were before you met them. Thank you for listening and or watching. In exchange for the value you received, thank you for listening and or watching. In exchange for the value you received from this episode, share it with 5 people. Help us to reach our goal of 1,000 subscribers by June 1st. Pull up a chair. There's always room at the table, and you are always welcome. The gumbo is hot and made with love. We will see you next week.
Gather round, y'all. It's time to groove.